Hi, I'm Dave Johnson, and today I'm here to talk to you about some basic best practices for your portable radios. This is a very basic push-to-talk radio. Right here you have both the speaker and the mic. Here is your push-to-talk button. You hold this down to talk. Up here are your selector knobs. Typically one will turn it on and control volume. The other will control the channel select. And then you have your antenna and your belt clip. And on the back behind the clip you will typically have a battery that comes out very easily and back on just as easily. These batteries are consumable. They typically last between about 2 and 5 years per the manufacturer. When you are charging your radio and your battery, it is very important that the radio be powered off. Do not charge the radio with the power on. This will dramatically shorten the life of your battery. Things to look out for on your battery is difficulty in removing it. It should be a very simple sliding motion to remove it. If it's difficult, that could be a sign that your battery is swelling. If your battery is swelling, that is a serious fire hazard. You do not want these things to catch fire or explode, particularly while you're wearing them. Check the age of your battery and the condition of your battery. If you have questions, we will help you. This part of your portable radio is called your antenna. It's a thin piece of polarized metal inside a rubber casing. When you speak on your radio, you're going to want this pointed straight up. You don't really want it side to side. You certainly don't want it facing down. The idea is that it'll connect with the other antennas that are also held at the same orientation. When handling your radio, never hold the radio by the antenna. The metal inside could break, the rubber will hold it together, and you won't understand why suddenly your radio is not functioning the way you think it should. Please do not smack the radio. Chances are, if you're having some kind of a technical issue, it's either the antenna or it's the battery. Smacking the radio is only going to shorten the life of the equipment. On the top of the radio, you're going to find your selector knobs. There'll be one for power that you'll turn on, and it'll also control your volume. And then next will be for your channel select. The channel select typically will have a set of numbers. Make sure that your radio is set to the agreed upon channel that you're going to use. On the front of your radio, what you're going to find are your speaker and your mic. When you're transmitting and sending your voice out to other users, you'll hold down the push-to-talk button, talk across the mic, approximately 2 to 3 inches from your face. Do not hold it like this, because the plosives, when you make any kind of a plosive sound, like with a P or a B, can blow out the speaker and make it very difficult to understand what you're saying. Radios operate on what's known as line of sight. This radio talks to the radios in the immediate area that you can sort of just draw a straight line to. Anything in the way, be it a building, a hill, a tree, can generate interference. If you put enough of that in the way, the radios will not talk to each other, and you will need a more powerful radio to relay the message. The more powerful radio is called the repeater. You may or may not have one of these at your facility or place of employment. The way the repeater works is that your radio talks to the repeater, and the repeater will relay that message on a repeated channel. Not every channel needs to be repeated. You may have a radio that has channels that are carried by the repeater and additional channels that are not, that operate on line of sight. There are also a variety of accessories that you may want to utilize with your portable radio. You can have an earpiece. A variety of types exist. There are some that are simple acoustic tubes that run up from the radio, usually plugged into this side port here, and you can wear over the ear. There are speaker mics that you might clip to a vest or a shirt that you can pull down and talk into, again, plugging into this side here. Additionally, you may want a protective case. There are a variety of options available, and I'm happy to go through them with you. Some best practices for using your radios. First, when you push to talk, give it 1 to 2 seconds of delay to make sure that everyone is receiving who needs to be. Second, agree what channel you're going to be on. Decide if you're going to have a common phrasing, and decide if you want call signs for identifiers. It's important when you start transmitting that everyone know who is talking, where they are, and who you're talking to. For instance, in the context of a school, you want to say, "This is Professor Johnson calling janitorial. I have a student who's become sick. Release. Then hopefully janitorial or your custodian staff can respond to that and say, "That's clear, we're en route to your room." Some other things you could do is you can say over or over and out to let someone know that you are done transmitting. Sometimes it can be very difficult to give a spelling and to be understood across the airwaves. In those cases, you may want to resort to a phonetic alphabet. NATO phonetics are common. You may have heard it in movies involving the police or war in which someone says Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo. You can do that. There is also a civilian phonetic alphabet commonly used by police and fire. Whatever you want to use, but the point is just to get the letter across. Like Adam, Boston, Charlie is A, B, and C. It's much easier to understand and to spell. You should understand and remember that you are holding the walkie 2 to 3 inches from your face. You are talking across, never with the walkie in front of you. You're holding it with the antenna pointed up. You need to also be aware of your surroundings. If it's loud or you're in a place with lots of tile like a bathroom, there's going to be echo. And the sounds you can hear are going to come across the radio and make it difficult to understand you. Please be aware of your surroundings when you key up to transmit. One thing we used to find a lot of when I was working dispatch was officers would talk with their windows down. And on my end, all I hear is blowing into the walkie. So please make sure you are shielded from wind, and if possible, get away from other sources of noise. Last, please be aware of privacy. When your radio groups are talking, everyone on that group can hear it. So don't say anything that you wouldn't say in a public space or meeting because you never know who may be listening.